Hey guys, welcome back to my channel today. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you guys my thoughts on a new Natasha Denona product. This is the Natasha Denona Tan Palette. I am wearing this tan palette on my cheeks today. I'm so excited to share with you guys my thoughts, how I think it is best used. I'll show you the swatches. I'll also show you guys any tips and tricks on how to really optimize this palette, especially if you are fair-skinned like myself and you are interested in purchasing it. If you guys are new to my channel, hello, my name is Jena Froese. My last name Froese is actually pronounced kind of like how the French say strawberry. So it is a little bit weird with spelling, but that is how it's pronounced. I am obsessed with high-end and luxury makeup, so that is what my channel is all about. So if you love high-end makeup like me, I would love for you to consider subscribing before we get started. And without further ado, let's get on to my thoughts on this new beautiful Natasha Denona palette. First off, let's talk about the outer packaging. It's what I always do first on my channel. The packaging on this is very similar to the Bloom palette. So as you can see, they both are that really hard plastic. The Bloom palette has a little bit of reflectiveness to it, but because of the peachness to the packaging, it's not getting washed out as much as the tan palette here. So the tan palette being a really dark brown or tan color, so to speak, it basically blackens out unless it reflects against the light, kind of like that. Interestingly enough, both of these retail for the same price point. Both of them are $55 American or $66 Canadian. However, the Bloom palette here has 13.7 grams total of product among all four shades. This tan palette is only 12 grams for the same price, so you are getting 1.7 grams more in this Bloom palette. Now, when you take a look and open up the tan palette, what you will see is a very similar style from the Bloom as well. We do have that mirror that is the full size of the lid. Then we have the cream product, which is separated by that divider. Interestingly enough, compared to the Bloom palette, this one only has the one cream product. The other three are powder. We do have the Glow Cream base on the top left. Then we have the Super Glow, which is the exact same formula as the single Super Glows in the Natasha Denona line. This is in a new shade, which is the bronze shade, exclusive to this palette. Then we have the blush and bronze powder. This can be used, I guess, as both a blush and a bronzer. Then we also have the new formula that is exclusive to this palette. Natasha Denona says that she created this formula to have glass-like skin and to really have that glow impact, which is, of course, the name. The name of this shade is Glow Impact Powder. So how I applied it today was super simple. I do have some tips though when applying it, so definitely stay tuned. First, I started with the Glow Cream base, and as you can see, you guys, I am applying this with my finger. You can apply it with a brush if that's your preferred method, but I just want to control it the most with my finger application. Now, this is over foundation that has not been set, so just know that. Then I went in with the blush. So actually, in Natasha Denona's tutorial, she talks about doing the blush first, and I probably should have done that because this is an incredibly pigmented blush, you guys. It is very easy to get too much on the skin. So if you guys saw the review on the Bloom palette, I talked about how the shades in here, you guys, are so richly pigmented that you have to go so light-handed, especially if you're light skin. So this beautiful blush here, I mean, you need the tiniest amount to blend out, make it look gorgeous, but even a little bit extra can get you like really cherry looking, like really quickly. So just like this palette, this tan palette is very similar. The blush, although not a cream product, it is a powder. It is still very beautifully pigmented, but heavy. So if you're used to using a blush brush like me that is a lot more dense, like something like this, go incredibly light-handed. You should do something a little bit fluffier as well. That could be a way to just lightly apply this to the cheek and really blend out. And the good news about this shade is that you can absolutely blend it out really well. You just have to be careful. Initially, I did apply too much, so I used some translucent powder to actually apply over top to kind of dim it down a little bit because it did kind of get out of control on me really quickly. So if there is too much and even blending doesn't seem to fix it, you can definitely try putting some translucent powder over top to dim it down a little bit. The next shade that I used is actually the Super Glow. So I'm familiar with this formula. It is beautiful. This bronze highlight I also went really light with because I was worried that it was going to look streaky on my light skin. What I did find was that I did apply it nice and lightly and it worked out really beautifully, but you have to be careful where you're placing it because it is still a bronze shade, so it is possible to look streaky if you're not careful. So what I did was I applied it over the base, which is the cream base I already put down, and I also kind of blended it up into the temple a little bit. And that's just my style. You don't have to do it that way, but I find that when I kind of put like a bit of a darker highlight on the temple, like of my head here, kind of going up, I do find that it kind of blends in with like the shadow of your face where a sun-kissed look would go. So there's lots of people that will bronze up in here as well. I just put a little bit of that bronze highlight kind of in that direction so it looked a little bit more sun-kissed and natural instead of a streaky line. Now the last thing I wanted to do is put that glow impact powder to the test. Give me glass skin, that's what I want. I love the glow. So I did go in with my just standard highlighter brush. This is the Sephora collection number 74, and this is one that's beautiful for highlight. What I did find with this powder is that it emphasized my texture just a touch. So although it does have that glass-like finish, there's definitely a gorgeous shine to the skin. I found that my texture was a little bit more visibly shown compared to just leaving the super glow highlight by itself. Now here are the swatches of this gorgeous palette. I really, really love these shades, you guys. As you can see, the first color there is the Glow Cream Base. Then we have that Super Glow in that gorgeous bronze shade, which is new. Then we have the Blush and Bronze Powder, which is that gorgeous like blush bronze shade kind of combined. Then we have that Glow Impact Powder, and it looks like a gorgeous champagne. It is super stunning. Of course, if you have darker skin than myself, you don't have to be as careful with applying it. I think it would look beautiful on you guys as well. So let me know down below, what do you guys think of this palette? Do you think you are going to purchase it? Is it on your wish list? This palette is not limited edition, it is permanent, so even those on a no-buy, I believe, can hopefully grab it once that no-buy period is over. I hope all of this information and the tips I shared was helpful for you guys, and until my next one, take care. Thanks so much for watching. Bye, guys.
You and me, everything that we've been through has made us strong. You won't believe we've had our gray, but somewhere there's a light inside of us. It shows the way.